Hearts 3 is fast approaching, and with so many new features, it's important to get up to speed before the game's launch. Now, story is important to the Kingdom Hearts series, but it's one thing we won't be talking about in this video, as many people will be using Kingdom Hearts 3 as their first entry. And of course, when it comes to the story of Kingdom Hearts, yeah, there's a lot to cover. Rather, today we'll be talking about the features of the game that people should know about before they jump in. So here's 20 of them. Hidden Mickeys. Throughout the worlds of Kingdom Hearts 3, you might just come across a familiar looking mouse symbol. In fact, a whole bunch of them. Well, aside from these being cool little Easter eggs to find, there's actually a mini game attached to them. Confirmed at Gamescom 2018, IGN sat down with the Square Enix Japan community manager Sunil, and during this conversation he mentioned that the hidden Mickeys are in fact part of a minigame, and if you find them all, there's a prize. Now, I'd say you'll likely just take a photo of each hidden Mickey using Sora's gummy phone device, and each one will likely be tracked in Jiminy's journal. 8 Disney Worlds. Kingdom Hearts 3 has a total of 8 Disney Worlds: Arendelle, Toy Box, Monstropolis, the Caribbean, San Francisco, Kingdom of Corona, Olympus, and the 100 Acre Wood. Now, this isn't as many as Kingdom Hearts 1 or 2, but this time around, worlds are a little bit more beefier, with areas being more vast and a focus on level verticality. I would definitely not look at this as Kingdom Hearts 3 having less content, as these worlds are now pretty damn big. Remember, this doesn't take into account the Kingdom Hearts original worlds, like Twilight Town and the Keyblade Graveyard. I believe that all up in total, Kingdom Hearts 3 should have somewhere around the total amount of worlds that Kingdom Hearts 2 had. Situation Commands. Situation Commands is a brand new mechanic for Kingdom Hearts 3, one that we got to play around with a little bit in 0.2 Birth by Sleep. This is essentially what makes the combat system of Kingdom Hearts 3 flow, as this is how you activate all of your special abilities like magic commands, attraction flow rides, and Keyblade transformations, to name a few. Now, as the name describes, these special commands will prompt over the command menu when they're available to use by simply pressing triangle. However, these are situational commands, meaning that you have to achieve a certain criteria for if you want a specific command. So, for an example, if I use fire-based magic in combat, then fire-based situation commands will become available to use. You can easily identify when a situation command is about to pop, as indicated by these 3 arrows. Once all 3 arrows appear over the command menu, it means a situation command is about to become available to use. Game length. Tetsuya Nomura confirmed midway through last year that Kingdom Hearts 3 in total will take the player about 80 plus hours to finish. Now, bearing in mind, this is including not only the main run of the game's story, but of course all of the extra additional side content that becomes available once you've finished the game. Nomura did mention that if you stay on the critical path, meaning not exactly veering off the beaten path, but rather just focusing on the main story, apparently the game will take anywhere between 40 to 50 hours to finish. Considering that most Kingdom Hearts games clock in at about the 20 to 25 hour mark by the time you've completed the game's main story and not the additional content, 40 to 50 hours for just the story alone is actually pretty damn exciting. This tells us that we're in for one lengthy adventure. The Ratatouille minigame. Toy Story and Monsters Inc. aren't the only Pixar properties in the game, because we also have everyone's favorite little chef, Remy from Ratatouille. Now, unfortunately, Remy didn't get his own world, so yeah, we won't be exploring the sewer system of Paris. Rather, Remy resides in Twilight Town within his very own restaurant. Here, Sora can bring ingredients collected from different worlds to Remy to eventually become one step up from Mr. Ramsay himself. The meals that you create will offer different buffs and benefits whilst in combat. Single visit worlds. Unlike Kingdom Hearts 2, Kingdom Hearts 3 will have us visiting each world throughout the game only once, with Twilight Town most likely being the exception. Kingdom Hearts 2 had the player visiting each world 2 times, with separate stories for each visit. Kingdom Hearts 3 goes back to the way Kingdom Hearts 1 did things, with only having to visit the world once for its story. Personally, I prefer this as opposed to having separated stories between 2 visits. I feel that you'll get a more fleshed out experience with one single visit, as you'll be hanging around each world for a longer period of time. Secret Heartless. Most Kingdom Hearts games have a unique enemy that generally dishes out some worthwhile goodness upon its defeat. Sometimes these unique enemies can be defeated by just simply hitting them over the head a couple of times with the Keyblade, but others might have mini-games attached to them. Kingdom Hearts 3 has a handful of unique Pudding Heartless that can be found throughout each world. Just like the Mushroom 13 from Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, each Pudding Heartless has a unique minigame attached to it. Achieving the score goal will reward you with some sweet loots. As an example, the Pudding Heartless in the Tangled world requires us to take pictures of it, most likely specific ones when it's posing or something like that, in order to get a high score. The one in the Olympus world requires us to collect enough of these delicious baddies while goofy sledding through Thebes. It's also been explained that each Pudding Heartless has a unique fruit crown, and defeating each one will reward you with a unique fruit accessory. I'm not too sure what these fruit accessories do, but no doubt they'll probably be some of the best pieces of equipment in the game. Unique world gimmicks. Each world throughout the game has its own gameplay gimmicks to utilize. This time around, Square wanted to make each world feel unique in its own right by making each one have different gameplay experiences. Toy Box, for example, allows Sora to pilot 3 different toy robots, all of which have their own special unique attacks. The Caribbean literally turns Kingdom Hearts into Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag by allowing the players to control an entire pirate ship. I remember some time ago some news came out where it was explained that each world in Kingdom Hearts 3 is equal to that of one game. Now, the wording of this was a bit strange, most likely due to translations, but at first we were all taking this news as if one world's length is equal to that of one game's length. But now I definitely know that's not what Square Enix were meaning. I believe Square were referring to how each world feels like it's a different game in itself due to the different gameplay experiences that can be found in each world. Toy Story and Big Hero 6 have unique stories. Usually Kingdom Hearts takes the story of a Disney movie, uses those events, then adds a bit of a twist with Kingdom Hearts themes. This means that for most of the Disney worlds throughout the Kingdom Hearts games, they usually just follow the same story that's found in that corresponding movie, just with Sora and the gang thrown into the mix, and of course, darkness, darkness, darkness. Now there have been a few instances in the past where the Disney worlds will actually contain a completely unique story, one that doesn't follow the film's respective events. For the likes of both Toy Story and the Big Hero 6 worlds in Kingdom Hearts 3, this is actually the case. Toy Story's world takes place between the events of Toy Story 2 and Toy Story 3. In fact, the most exciting part about this is that Kingdom Hearts 3's story for the Toy Story world is actually considered to be canon in the Toy Story universe. Yes, the events of where Sora teams up with Woody and Buzz actually happened in Toy Story lore. That's some wild junk to think about. Big Hero 6's world takes place after the events of the movie, and we know this as the Dark Baymax that we'll have to go up against is actually the original Baymax. However, if you've watched the movie, you'll know that the original sacrificed himself to save both Hero as well as Abigail from being trapped in a different dimension. Because of this, Baymax was left behind. Hiro eventually rebuilds Baymax, which is of course the one that helps out Sora in the Big Hero 6 world. Now something obviously happened in that dimension where Baymax was left in, resulting in the original being consumed by darkness. Riku is the game's second playable character. Many of the Kingdom Hearts games allow us to take control of another character during the game's length. At some point in Kingdom Hearts 3, we'll be able to take control of Riku within the realm of darkness. Now, we don't know if this is just going to be a very brief scenario or maybe something that is fleshed out, 1 to 2 hours long. Now, it really doesn't come to much surprise that Riku is Kingdom Hearts 3's second playable character, as Riku in the past for many Kingdom Hearts installments has been used as a sort of secondary main protagonist, especially when looking towards the likes of Chain of Memories and Dream Drop Distance. Now, obviously, he'll control a little bit different to that of Sora, with being able to use unique commands such as Dark Dodge and Dark Firaga. Attraction Flow Rides. One of the big new features of Kingdom Hearts 3 is that you're able to summon forth Disney theme park rides to show the Heartless a good time. Okay, no, scratch that. You summon forth Disney rides to absolutely annihilate them. Yes, we can now use roller coasters, swinging pirate ships, and teacups against our foes. Now the real question though is, how do these crazy abilities work? Well, to start off with, attraction flow rides are area dependent, and you don't exactly have 100% control over exactly what ride you want to summon. As an example, outside Andy's house you're able to summon the pirate ship and teacups, as there is enough space for these rides to be used within the general vicinity. However, if you're in an enclosed space where something like the pirate ship is obviously not going to fit, then of course you can't summon it. Some also seem to be specific to certain boss fights, as the only attraction flow ride you can use against the Rock Titan is the Big Thunder Mountain roller coaster. I'm sure this will most likely end up being used at different points throughout the game, but it should be known that all rides are area dependent. Now, this system is attached to the situation commands. When you see this green circle with a crown hovering over an enemy, it indicates that if you hit that enemy, an attraction flow ride will become available to use through the situation commands. No more speech bubble cutscenes. When you interact with NPCs in most Kingdom Hearts titles, you're thrown into a speech bubble conversation. Kingdom Hearts 3 is ditching these and going with fully voiced interactions with actual talking animations. No longer do we have to put up with these cardboard mouths. These lips actually move. Now this is a minor addition, but one that is certainly welcomed. Also, characters will now actively talk or mention things to one another whilst exploring worlds. PlayStation 4 Pro/Xbox One X enhancements. Kingdom Hearts 3 receives a pretty nice boost in its performance if you're playing on a PlayStation 4 Pro or Xbox One X. The game's frame rate is almost double if you're playing on these beefier systems. Now, we can't say for sure as we're still 2 weeks away from release, but the game runs at about 50 to 60 frames per second on the Pro and X, which is a big upgrade from 30 on the standard systems. Especially for an action RPG, high frame rates are beneficial as there's usually so much happening on screen. The demos of the game ran at about 50 to 55 frames, so here's hoping that the final product can hit that 60. Also, although it's not confirmed, the game will likely be able to be played in 4K if you're also playing on these beefier systems. More than 2 party members. We've always had a 2-slot limit when it comes to party members, which means that usually one person has to miss out on the fun. In Kingdom Hearts 3, everyone is here. Yeah, some real Smash Bros shit with now being able to have every party member on the field at one time. This also opens up a lot more limits to pick from, as you can now have all characters out at once. Forms. Drive forms have taken on a bit of an evolution, definitely one of Kingdom Hearts 2's coolest mechanics. This time around, forms are attached to Keyblade transformations, so essentially think of each Keyblade transformation as a different form, and trust me, there's a lot of them. However, each Keyblade transformation is categorized into different forms that correspond to what that Keyblade and its transformation focuses on. In total, there are 4 form categories. Power form, represented by a red outfit, magic form, represented by a blue outfit, guard form, represented by an orange outfit, and finally speed form, which is represented by a green outfit. We know of one special form so far, which both the Kingdom Key and Dauntal Dusk Keyblades put you in, which is known as second form. Keyblade switching. Up to 3 Keyblades can be equipped at once to easily switch between them on the fly during gameplay. Keeping in mind that each Keyblade has its own set of stats and abilities, but the main reason why Keyblade switching exists is to be able to string together multiple Keyblade transformations, and yes, you can even switch between Keyblade transformations to come up with some devastating combos. I'm really looking forward to this specifically, as I can imagine people will start to discover some really cool Keyblade transformation combinations. The Gummy Ship. The way in which you traverse from world to world in the main numbered Kingdom Hearts games is via the use of the Gummy Ship. Now, the Gummy Ship minigame has never really been too much of a wow factor, although Square certainly improved upon the system for Kingdom Hearts 2, with it being a lot more fast-paced with actual themed levels, not just levels with boring skyboxes and shapes. Well, Kingdom Hearts 3 ramps up the Gummy Ship system once again, but this time taking on a wild amount of evolution. The world map has been transformed into a full-on 3D space, with now being able to steer the ship in any given direction. Yes, no more autopilot, baby. You'll now also be able to discover worlds as if you were actually flying through space. This is definitely the way in which we've wanted this system to head in since the dawn of its birth. There are also hidden treasures to discover throughout the universe, as well as secret and rare enemies to find too. Customization is also back for the Gummy Ship system, with apparently a lot more choices to choose from. This is one part of the game I absolutely cannot wait for. The Memory Archives. Now there's going to be a lot of people who will be jumping into Kingdom Hearts 3 without any prior knowledge on what's transpired throughout the series over the course of 16 years. Yeah, that's a lot to catch up on, trust me. Well, Square will be introducing a feature that will be available as part of the game's Day 1 patch, known as the Memory Archives. This will allow people to freshen up on their Kingdom Hearts knowledge, or for newcomers to get a basic understanding as to what has happened so far. Something like this is extremely important for a game that is so story-rich and focused. If there is anyone watching this as of right now who will be using Kingdom Hearts 3 as their first Kingdom Hearts game, please be sure to skim through this feature before you start playing. Now, alternatively, there's already a bunch of recap and lore videos on YouTube for newcomers to watch, created by different content creators, including myself. The Starlight Keyblade. There are a total of 4 DLC Keyblades for the game, 3 of which are acquired through pre-ordering, but there's one that anyone has the chance to get. The Starlight Keyblade is the default starting Keyblade for the Kingdom Hearts Key games, and yes, through completing the Classic Kingdom mini-games in Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, the app version of Kingdom Hearts, you'll be rewarded a Starlight Keyblade code to redeem on the day of launch. Now, this offer isn't going to be around forever, so I suggest getting onto it now if you haven't already, and now is actually the best time to complete these mini-games, as Square recently halved all of the required minigame goals. And finally, the Epilogue and Secret Movie. The game's most spoilerific parts, the epilogue and secret movie, have been held back from the base game and will rather be included as free DLC. The epilogue will be released on the 30th of January, and the secret movie will release the day after on the 31st. Now, just like previous Kingdom Hearts games, there are requirements for being able to view the secret movie, and these requirements usually differ depending on what difficulty you're currently playing on. The harder the difficulty, the easier it's going to be to unlock the secret movie. The requirements consist of finishing the game and seeing the ending, as well as finishing up most of the side content. Also keep in mind that the epilogue also has requirements in order to view it. The secret movie has you finishing the game, seeing the ending, and finishing all of the additional content. However, the epilogue just requires you to finish the game and see the ending. But guys, with all that being said, that is 20 things you should know about Kingdom Hearts 3. Just a bunch of different features that you should probably know about before heading into your grand adventure in 2 weeks' time. Kingdom Hearts 3 introduces so many brand new features that I just absolutely cannot wait to dip into. So with that being said, in the comment section down below, please be sure to list your top 3 features that you're most looking forward to for Kingdom Hearts 3. However guys, I'm Cynical, hopefully you're having a fantastic day, and until next time guys, I'll catch you later. Peace.